Hello folks, my name is Robert Tintorado. Thank you for coming to my channel. Today we're going to speak about a book that I just wrote. It's called The Boy from Zarephath. And many people will say, what is Zarephath? It does sound like a cool name, but it actually was a city that's in the Middle East. And today in its place, there's a city called Sidon. And in this place, 2,800 years ago, there was a famine in Israel that many people were starving, of course, and there was a drought. And what got me to write this story was actually there's a passage in 1 Kings that speaks about a widow and her son. And at this time, during the drought, there was a famine, and the stranger came up to the widow, the boy's mother, and asked her to feed him. So she explained to this stranger that when I give you this food, or this food that I have, is for her and her son, and then today we're going to die. So when I read that passage, I was just so blown away how that one sentence just leaves you breathless. So from there, I explored and was so intrigued by it, I wrote this book. And what this book does, it explores more than just what happened with the boy, which was very serious, and many serious things happen with the boy, but what happens to the boy when he becomes a man. And when he becomes a man, I place him 13 years later when he's 23 years old. And there's a big war, there's a big coalition to fight the Assyrians, which historically many do know that the Assyrians were a ruthless kingdom that devastated the whole region. So all these nations put past grievances away, Israel, Egypt, and they all made a coalition to come together to fight the Assyrians. So just as the boy, when he was 10 years old, he had to deal with the environment, a hostile environment, with King Ahab, with King Ahab's wife Jezebel. He had to deal with starvation to the point that him and his mother are going to die that day. So, of course, it's not always a beautiful story. It's not always a happy story. But these are the stories that give us strength, learning what our ancestors had to go through in life so we could learn how to deal with life in our present time. So what I explore is what happened to that boy when he lived in Zarephath. What happened to his friends, the other younger kids? Also, he is a fatherless boy, but at one time he wasn't a fatherless boy. So I explore what might have been his father, what might have been his mother's husband. And also I give them names. It says widow and it says the boy. So I give the mother Kava, which in Hebrew means Eve, and I give him Jonah, which in Hebrew means dove. So these are the names that I put so we could follow along in the story. But also this story goes into the lessons he learned when he was 10 years old. When the stranger Elijah came into his life, there were lessons that Elijah might have told him when he was a little boy that he would take as an adult through all the different tribulations that region had. So we know that even people who are doing good are affected by all the chaos that's around them, but it's how they deal with it. And even to 2,800 years later, we're still talking about them. So it's very important, their experiences, their tribulations, their happiness, we seek in order for us to make our lives better. So I was just so intrigued by that one sentence, as I mentioned before. This spurred on the book, which I take Bible canon, I take imagination, and I take history and combine them all to create The Boy from Zarephath. So hopefully you're intrigued. Hopefully you'll get to read the book. And it might encourage girls, it might encourage boys in this crazy world we live in. And it's not always crazy. It has good times, and we're going to see he does have good times. He meets friends, which are so important in life, to have good friends. So if you want to explore more about this story, The Boy from Zarephath, you could go on Amazon.com, and it's there. It's available in all different formats. So my name is Robert Tintorado. Hope to hear from you soon, and take care. Like and subscribe to this video. Bye.